Now, I've got some very troubling news for you. I mean, you might want to sit down for this if you're standing up. But, this is the internet, and sometimes people lie on here. I know. I'll give you a second to, take that news to heart and go, oh, God. People lie on the internet? No way. Ugh, man, you make me feel uncomfortable. But, I don't like Rambo 4. You see, I just practiced an internet lie. I fucking love this movie. Rambo 4 is so incredible. I cannot get enough of this movie because it is just fantastic. It is... I will not hesitate to say that this is the second best Rambo by a long shot. It's not as good as First Blood, but it's the closest that we get to an amazing Rambo movie. And I love this movie. I'm going to start this in the only way I know how and talk about the characters. There's not that many I think that are significant, so... not that many to go through. Sylvester Stallone returns as Rambo yet again. And, he's much older. This, last movie was 1988. This is 2008. So, 20-year gap. And Rambo's still living in Thailand. I know. He never quite moved back to America. He's still ironing that part out. But, yeah, he's still living in Thailand. He's capturing snakes, I guess, and then, these missionaries kind of walk up to him and want him to kind of transport him up to Burma, which was a war zone at the time. I think they had, civil wars quite a lot. But, yeah, they wanted to change things. He's like, you bringing any weapons? And he's like, no. You're not changing anything. But, yeah, Rambo is kind of a pessimist in this movie, but it works for Rambo because he has the experiences that would turn someone a pessimist. Unlike, Luke Skywalker from Last Jedi, for example, who's really unfitting as a pessimist, not surprisingly. But surprisingly, Rambo himself worked. The pessimist Rambo in this movie works. It almost does wonders, because you believe it. From all the shit you've seen this guy go through, and all the shit he's went through before, you believe it. You're like, yeah, I think I'd kind of view the world this way, too. And there's kind of a Rambo mentality versus the Sarah mentality, which is a perfect segue into the second most important character. Sarah, whatever the fuck her last name is really your main protagonist, your second main protagonist to Rambo, and she's kind of like the optimist to Rambo. You got the Rambo mentality or the Sarah mentality. Now, I'm not quite either. They're kind of both extreme, but I've got the pessimism of Rambo's mentality, and I've got the freaking, persistence of Sarah. Because she is damn persistent, and I love that. Because she, basically pesters Rambo until he's like, yeah. And, yeah, she says something that I think is very true. Trying to save a life isn't wasting yours, is it? And that's what gets Rambo. I think that's kind of what pushes Rambo. He's like, okay, I guess I'll help him. But, he kind of gets her in charge. Like, listen, if you want to go back, just say the word and we'll go back. And I don't know. Rambo kind of does get this weird thing for her, but I don't know. I think he sees something in her that he had not seen in a long time, and it inspired him a little bit. So, I think Sarah... Okay, one more character. The villain. You can argue... I mean, Teasel and Podofsky definitely aren't evil. Teasel is just a prick, and Podofsky's just doing what he thinks is right for his country. Zeisen... I mean, I think he's pretty evil. But I think you can safely make an argument that he's not evil, and you could probably convince me, but I haven't yet to be convinced. But you could probably almost convince me with the fact that he might be a little bit, he might not be too evil. But you can't do that with this fuck. This villain is a human piece of shit. and it is so satisfying to see. Spoiler alert: he gets his he gets his damn bowels cut out, and he deserved it. He deserved more than that, honestly. I think the Rambo Last Blood death he deserves too, but let's not get to that movie yet. We'll get to that one. I have some things to say about that. But point is, yeah, this villain is evil as shit. This villain is not a good guy. I don't like this villain, which means they did a damn good job writing him, because you're not supposed to like the villain. But yeah, anyway, the story in it, I don't know. The story is kind of simple. It's just Rambo bringing up the missionaries and having to bring up mercenaries back to save the missionaries, to go save the men, to go rescue the men who went in to save the men who went in to save the men. But yeah, he goes up and and shit, of course, goes awry, and Rambo has to pull everybody through the shit, to trudge through the shit, and because shit does literally, almost like quite literally, hit the fan. And this ending it's a happy ending, but a sad ending at the same time. It's one of those. Almost all of the missionaries, except for like Sarah and her like fiance or husband or whatever, dies. They all die, and even the mercenaries get quite a toll. I think only one. I think there's like 6 of them. I think like 2 of them die, and it's like almost everybody dies except for like 6 people out of like 15. It's like, yeah, this movie does not fuck around. And, I mean, they didn't have, they could have gone, well, we can make a climax just like the other ones, but how about we just go ahead and just make, like, literally the best Rambo or action movie climax to ever happen, and that's what they do. This climax is the coolest action movie climax I have ever seen. You cannot convince me otherwise, because this climax is awesome. I love it. Rambo, so, they're all captured, and the sniper and Sarah are up on a hill, looking at it, and she's like, what can we do? He's like, nothing we can do. But there is one thing they can do. And, you got this guy just standing there, over this mounted gun, and a freaking Rambo raises as the music goes, boom, and Rambo swings his machete, cuts the guy's head off, gets on the 50 caliber and starts just mowing people down, and the sniper, gets a few headshots, and then, of course, the chaos, in the midst of the chaos, the missionaries scramble, the mercenaries grab AK-47s, and, there's so many rolls in this scene, it's almost ridiculous, but it's so cool. And, you got people, doing rolls, and, boom, 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 and it's just so fucking cool. I love this ending. And, the whole time, Rambo never gets off the fucking 50 cal, and he's just mowing down, the entire army with his 50 cal. And he's fucking mowing down any bad guy in sight, and hell, at some point, this transport truck comes up, and Rambo turns his attention to it, and fucking, you see, and you can see the trees ahead of him, falling apart, and and the people inside of the transport truck, you see pieces flying everywhere as the truck starts to fall apart because, it's getting hit by 50 caliber bullets. And then he blows apart a freaking boat, a gunboat. He, blows apart quite a few more people, and then the guy with the 50 cal sniper snipes one of the guy's head straight off as he just sits there dead. And then freaking one of the Karen rebels, he has an RPG and goes and this movie's awesome, man. I love this movie. And then, the main bad guy's the only one left, so he's running off, and Rambo was chasing after him, and, he stabs him in the gut, and, he turns over the corner and looks him in the eye, and then, cuts his intestines out, and the intestines don't fall out. I used to think they did, but it's just a bunch of blood that falls to the ground. Because you can see him when he's rolling. Because, Rambo kicks him and he rolls over. And you can see the intestines are still inside. This movie's epic. I love this movie. This movie has some of my favorite action scenes in any movie ever. First Blood might be a better film or, a better movie with better messages. But this movie's just cooler than First Blood. It's not better overall. Overall, First Blood is the superior movie. But this one's not too damn far below it. I adore this movie. This movie is amazing. Sylvester Stallone directs this movie too. He doesn't just star in it. He directs it. So yeah, and he does a masterful job directing this. Now, does he go a little bit too far sometimes? A little bit. But I would not change a single thing about this movie for my life. This movie is almost perfect. I would maybe I would remove a few things, but I don't know. There's a few touchy things, but the thing is this war. War is war is not fantastic. I don't know if you don't know this, but war is shit. War is shitty. And this movie does not hesitate to show you that. Like, yeah, you get hit with a 50 caliber machine gun. You know, you get just unloaded by a 50 cal. You're not getting back up. I'm sorry. Yeah, and getting back to that 50 cal scene. What do you see? You see, like, these people getting basically launched back. They roll down a hill in pieces. And you even see some guy's leg get basically sliced off with a bullet. And he falls to the ground, you know, dying. Yeah, God, I love this movie. The 50 caliber scene is the best, probably the best action sequence in any film ever. I love this movie. I love this movie so much. This is such a great movie. I love this movie. Oh yeah, it's just called Rambo for some reason. I don't know why the four must have not been in town while they were naming it. So I don't know what's up with that, but yeah, a lot of movie franchises seem to just go back to original names like Halloween or The Predator. But god damn it, do I love this movie. This movie is so good. Damn. And oh yeah, there's this one scene where I don't know if this is true or not. I'm gonna assume it is. This movie tries to be as real as possible. Where they like let these poor villagers out into the damn minefield and like try to bet on which one's gonna get blown up. And then if they make it to the end, they just fucking shoot them because of course they do. And I think this is a real thing. I hope it's not, but I'm pretty sure it is. It's the world. It's pretty fucked up, but anyway, yeah, you know, it's like, oh god, this is hopeless. They're all gonna die. And, you know, there's this guy shooting, and he's shooting at the you know, the kind of the mud hill they're leaning on, and then you see an arrow go through one guy, and Rambo comes around the corner and shooting at guys, killing them, and you know, yeah, he kills everybody in that scene. Another great scene. It's great, but it's horrifying. It's horrid. The village attack scene where the bad guy soldiers, they just blow the shit out of this poor village, and it's horrifying shit. This movie manages to create a better horror scene. This action movie managed to create a better horror scene than most horror movies I've seen. This movie, the shit you see in that village attack scene, I'm not going to really describe that stuff since I don't think YouTube would like that. But I'm just going to say, it is terrifying. It is nightmarish shit you're seeing. I mean, yeah, let's just say, yeah, just go watch this movie now. If I piqued your interest, if you're like, oh my god, this sounds awesome, then go watch this movie right now. It's not streaming anywhere or anything, but go outside, buy a Rambo 5-pack, and just watch all of them, actually. Just watch them all. They're all great. I love them. I love the series. But, yeah, this is my second favorite Rambo movie, and I don't think you could make 4 more Rambo movies and get up to 9, and I don't think anything will ever top this or First Blood. You could top Rambo Last Blood. You could definitely top Rambo First Blood Part 2. You could sure as hell top Rambo 3. The rest of the franchise has proven that to me. And, of course, you can get worse than anything. But I don't think you're going to ever top Rambo 4. Because it is great. I love this movie. This movie is fantastic. Go watch it now. No, I'm serious. Go watch it now. Begging you. This movie is so goddamn good. I don't remember what I gave. I tried to find out what I gave First Blood. But I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. If that's what First Blood was, then I still stand by it. But if First Blood was lower, then, you know, I'd not knock it down a 0.25 points from First Blood. Yeah, but I think I gave that one a 9.5, so I think I'm safe to say I can give this like an 8 or maybe even a 9. I love this one. This one's so good. Second best Rambo ever. I will stand by that. Fight me. This is the best Rambo. That's about it. I'll see you next time.